Okay? I get that a lot, but looks aren't everything. I know, but... I know. Okay, so now you guys remember back in the day when you were learning to add fractions, Mrs. Bad Crumble taught you to add and subtract, and then she was like, you have to have a common denominator. And you were all like, I don't want to change it. And then Mrs. Bad Crumble, you spent like 6 months learning to add and subtract fractions. And then it was time to multiply and divide. And Mrs. Bad Crumble said, this is the easy one. All you have to do is go straight across. It's what you wanted to do when we were adding. Because when you first learned to add fractions, Mrs. Bad Crumble wrote this on the board. 1/2 plus 1/3. And you all said it was 1/5. And then Mrs. Bad Crumble was like, no, kids. I understand why you would guess that, but that's not right. So then, after she spent 6 months telling you, don't go straight across, she started doing multiplying and said, go straight across. And then you were like, what? So, first thing we do is we look at this question and we say to ourselves, self, do those negatives matter? Yes. Of course not. Because the answer is going to be what? Positive. So we forget about the negative sign. Everybody is like, oh, I got to remember the negative sign. No, all you got to do is remember if there's one or two of them. If there's one negative sign, your answer is negative. If there's two, your answer is positive. Exactly. So we look at this, and then we go straight across. You guys are smart kids. Straight across. What's 2 times 6? Wow. What's 3 times 7? 21. And then you're all like, I'm done. Word. But you're not. Because you got to simplify. And here's the problem. Most elementary school teachers and middle school teachers tell you to go straight across and then simplify at the end. I hope that all of you were not taught that way. I hope that you were all taught to simplify in the question. Yeah. Leighton seems to have been. No. What do I mean by simplify in the question? Well, let me ask you this. Jack, what's 2 times 5? Excellent. Bonus points for you. Jack, what's 5 times 2? 10. Excellent. Does order matter when you multiply? No. No, because multiplication is what we call commutative. If order doesn't matter, what am I really doing here? I'm really doing 2 times 6 over 3 times 7, aren't I? Yeah. Right? But order doesn't matter, does it? No. So can't I do 6 times 2 over 3 times 7? Can't I? Yeah. And isn't 6 over 3 2? Yes. So isn't this really 2 times 2 over 7? Yes. Which is really 4 over 7, isn't it? Yes. Now, if I simplify that, I indeed get 4/7, don't I? Yes. Right? Now, again, this is a really easy example because the numbers are small, correct? Yes. We always start with small, easy numbers that you can do in your head. And most of you don't bother showing me work. And then we get to bigger, harder numbers. You're all like, and I'm like, it's the same. And you're like, it's not. And I'm like, it is. But I don't know how to do it. But you do, because you know how to do it with the simple numbers. But it's not the same. But it is. That's the best part about math. It's the only subject you will ever take in the world that is always the same. If it works once in math, it always works in math. Not like English, right? Where in English, the letters O-U-G-H have how many sounds? A lot. Through, bow, cough, hiccup. Hiccup is properly spelled H-I-C-C-O-U-G-H. Yes. That is how hiccup is properly spelled. So those letters that should make this sound, oog, make through, bow, cough, hiccup. The only sound they don't make is oog. The sound they should. And people say, why don't you learn English when people move here from another country? How about because it's idiotic? How can you imagine a language that would sound like that? In English, your house can burn down at the same time that it burns up. My house is burning up. You mean your house is burning down? No, it's burning up. No, it's burning down. Right?
Oh. Fever and you're burning up like it's really hot, so you're burning. Oh, that's really
Now, English is stupid. Yeah. You can get a bandage, and your bandage can be wound around your wound. Huh? Okay. Your bandage is wound around your wound.
Oh.
Right? Paul's looking at me like, thanks, man. Sam, let me guess. You've been to Silverwood. Have you been to Silverwood? You should go to Silverwood. It's a good amusement park. Athole, Idaho. I know what it sounded like. That's what it's called. ATHOL. Athole, Idaho.
Sounds like you have a bad list.
I know. It's like when you do this and say, I was born on a pirate ship. What?
I don't understand that.
Yes. Except people who have already learned English, which is the hardest language in the world to learn, refuse to learn other languages. What's the class you guys hate most? French.
No, I love French.
Uh-huh.
I hate French. French is gross.
Okay, so here's what I mean. Here's what I mean. If you follow Mrs. Bad Crumble's rules for multiplying fractions, what is the answer here?
28.
28 over, you can do that in your head. What is it? 12 times 21. 12 times 21. It's 252.
Oh,
And then of course, you would have to simplify. Isn't that stupid?
Yes.
Of course it is. Especially when you can do this.
1 over 9.
7 and 21, do they work together?
Yes. So do 4 and 12.
1, 7, 3. Do 4 and 12 work together?
Yes.
Of course they do.
1 and 3.
So the answer
1,
is 1 over 9.
3. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 3 is 9. Now, I have taught a lot of Honors 9 classes, and about half of the kids know this trick, and about half don't. I'm hoping there is more of you that know it this time. Okay? If you don't, I really recommend using it now. And no, yeah, this one. Because, and I'm going to give you a reason, math doesn't end with grade 9 fractions. Right? Remember I showed you that stuff we were doing yesterday with x's and y's in fraction form and how you'll have to do stuff with them? It's the same principle. So be good at doing it here where it's easy. Practice it a lot, so later in this unit and later in this semester, when we start doing the hard stuff, you can be like, oh yeah, I got this. Yeah. And then you can go like this. Oh yeah. Okay? Okay. Now, do these blanks matter? Of course not. But I will point this out. Does that negative sign matter?
Yeah.
It matters because it makes the fractions are different. So we get a negative answer. Now, in this case, it doesn't really matter because it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. But I forget about this right here. It's poop. You don't need it because you know your answer is going to be negative. So I got 1, 5, 3, 5. Can I do any canceling?
No.
Nope. So what's the answer? 3 25ths. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. What about this one? They're the same, so it's positive. So do I have to care about these negative signs? No. And here's the reason I'm making such a big deal about this. When you have a mixed numeral, that negative sign can sometimes mess you up. So why I'm making a big deal about it now is you can throw it out and not think about it. So when you're doing a mixed numeral, you don't have to worry about it. Because you already know if the answer is going to be positive or negative. So you don't need to worry about it when you're doing work. It's one less thing to use up your RAM with. Understand? Okay, so can we do any canceling here?
Yes.
9 and 12 don't work together?
They work.
Yeah, they do.
What goes into 9 and 12? 3. How many 3s in 9?
3.
3. How many 3s in 12?
4. 4.
4. Do 7 and 11 work together? Only at the store. One time I went to 7-Eleven. I bought a little dab will do ya. A little dab will do ya. It's an old saying, so I did a little dab.
Oh.
No, do the big one.
No. Why? Because I'm 42.
Dad's dab.
What was I saying? Oh yeah. So I was at 7-Eleven. I bought some chips and I bought some little taquito things and I bought some couple of Slurpees and I went to the till and she rings it up. It costs $7.11. She's like, she's punching it all in and I'm like, $7.11. And I was like, oh, that means I get it free, right? She's like, no. It's like, come on! How long you work here? Has it ever been 7-Eleven? She's like, no. She wouldn't give me my stuff
Did you
free.
purposely make that question to make that joke?
No, of course not, Leighton. No, I really didn't. But sometimes I do make questions to make jokes later. Sometimes I do think about it, but not here. So anyway, back to what we were saying. Do 7-Eleven work together? Only at the store. Ha ha ha. No. So 3 times 7 is?
21.
11 times 4?
44.
Done. Now the beautiful thing about the simplifying in the question is 99 times out of 100, it gives you your simplified answer. But we always should check. Real quick in our heads. 21 and 44, they're okay, yeah? Yeah. Did you just say Jess? Okay. Mixed numbers. Now, do you have an option with mixed numbers when multiplying?
Carlin, you okay back there?
Remember, when we add them, don't write this down, but when we add them, we are allowed to do 3 plus 2 and 1/2 plus 1/3, yes?
Yes.
Are we allowed to do that when multiplying?
No.
No. Why? Nobody can ever tell me why.
Because the sky is so hot.
Why not? Sam.
Good answer.
This is not Family Feud. When it is a bad answer, you do not have to applaud good answer.
They do anyway.
I know they do, because they're all family. If I was on Family Feud, and my kid gave a bad answer, like, that's stupid! But my kid would never give a bad answer, because my daughter loves Family Food. I just did it again. She is wicked at it. She is so good. It's unbelievable how good my daughter is at Family Feud. Did you guys, Yeah, the one that's the actress. Did you see the Celebrity Family Feud with Alan Thicke on it? Alan Thicke is Canadian. Yep. Alan Thicke had to do the fast money question at the end was name a famous Justin. So his kid said Justin Bieber, number 1. So when Alan Thicke comes on, he says Justin Bieber, beep beep, and he has to think of another famous Justin. So he's Canadian. So what does he say?
Trudeau.
He says Justin Trudeau because he's Canadian. 0. And Steve Harvey is laughing, right? He's like, Justin, who? And Alan Thicke, he's the Prime Minister of Canada, your second biggest trading partner. And Steve Harvey's like, Justin, who? The Prime Minister of what? Yeah. So he should have said Justin Timberlake. That's what I said. Because Justin Timberlake is a genius. Don't anybody tell you otherwise. Genius and gorgeous.
Justin Timberlake throws up some bad tracks.
Spit it out.
I have an explanation behind my
You've been to Justin Timberlake?
Okay, what is it?
You said, why can't you add, when you said...
Why can't I multiply the same way I add? Aren't adding and multiplication related?
Yes.
Yes, multiplying is the shortcut to adding, yes? We don't go 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. We do 2 times 4. So why can't I multiply the way I add? Because you're not allowed. Why not? Sam, hit me.
You forgot.
You said you had a reason.
I had an explanation behind my bad answer.
Oh. Okay.
Good answer.
Good answer, good answer. What's your explanation?
You win this
You
man.
said, why can't you add the way you multiply?
Other way around. Why can't you multiply the way you add? But yes, go on.
Yeah, because multiplication, you can't add it.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with you because of what I just said. 2 plus 2 plus 2 is the same as 2 times 3.
Oh my gosh, then stop making it more complicated. Add to the
Carlin.
question.
Because for addition, you can find the common denominator. Multiplication, you don't.
Not quite. Okay. What in multiplying, what does this mean?
3
Don't give me the answer. What does it mean?
3 plus 3 plus, yeah, sorry, 3 plus 3.
It means 3 2 times, correct?
Yeah.
Everyone agree?
Yeah.
So what does this mean? 3 times 1/2.
That means like 3 plus the half of 3.
What?
Like,
That's a decimal.
yeah, like
1/2 plus 1.
It means 1/2, and then 1/2, and then 1/2. 3 of them, right? Okay. So look at this. Look at the question that I'm asking you here. -2 and 1/5 times -1 3/4. Okay. So if I was going to multiply the way I added, I would do -2 times -1, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
But then what do I got to remember?
You have to take number.
It's also -2 times what? 3/4. And it's also -1 times what? -1/5. So you can't do it because the 2 has to multiply by both parts. Does everybody understand?
Yes.
So when we're doing this, we have no options. We must improper. Okay? Now,
Old thing.
there's a problem here that a lot of people make the mistake. A lot of people, not you guys because you're pre-dip kids, but a lot of you do 5 times -2 plus 1 is -10 plus 1, it's -9. -9/5. Is that right?
No.
No. It's 5 times 2 plus 1, so it's 11/5. Why did I not even write the negative sign? It's 2 negatives, so the answer is going to be positive, so I don't need to worry about it. What if there was only 1 negative sign? Would I still write it?
Yeah.
No, because I know the answer is going to be negative. I would still treat it as positive. Got it?
Got it.
So what's the next one going to be?
7.
It is equal to 7 over 4.
Any cancelings?
No.
77
No.
over 20.
77 over 20. Would we leave it like that?
No.
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 Michael Schumacher.
Hey, Michael Schumacher goes fast. He's a driver, Formula One, fast. Hey, Jack. 2 drums and a cymbal fall off a cliff. But a bump.
I had a set of drums.
But a bump.
I got it.
I don't.
The drums and the cymbal fall off the cliff. So when they hit the ground, they go ba-dum, bum.
Oh.
So the punchline is the sound.
Oh.
I got it.
Well, we all remember how much funnier jokes are when you explain them, right, Evelyn?
No,
Right, no, it's
I
Justin.
don't get it though.
Okay, Am Schumann, you know when
No,
someone
it
makes...
why sound the punchline? That doesn't
Here,
make
I'll
any
explain
sense.
it to you. You know when someone makes a joke and then they go, ba-dum, right?
Yeah.
The punchline of the joke is the drums going, ba-dum.
Because they've fallen off the cliff.
Why
So
would
when,
it fall off the cliff?
why would a horse walk into a bar? But when a horse walks into a bar, the bartender says, "Why the long face?"
Ha-ha, that's funny. That's worth some comedy.
Thank you, Taylor.
You're welcome.
Explaining jokes makes them funny.
Ha-ha. They do.
Okay, go. Do I care about that negative?
No.
No, my answer is going to be negative, so I forget about it now. Do I have to fill in all these blanks? If I was in regular grade 9, I would make you fill in all those blanks, but I trust you guys can understand the steps. So this is going to be what? 5 over 4 times 6 over 7. Any canceling? Where? What goes into 6 and 4?
2.
2. 3?
2.
2. 5 times 3?
15.
15. 2 times 7? 14. And the whole answer is? Negative. Negative 1 and 1.
7. 14.
114. Yeah. This one.
Yeah, he's cheating.
What do I do?
Who's cheating?
What do I got to do? Do I care about the negatives?
No.
Why?
It's positive.
Because the answer is going to be positive, so I forget about it. What's the first one?
Forget about it.
14.
14 over 5 times
11 over.
11 over 4. Any cancelings?
Yeah.
Where?
14 and 4.
14 and 4. 7, 2. 77 over 10. 7 and 7/10.
Yeah.
Who remembers how to multiply decimals without a calculator? Alicia, how do you do it?
You just do it.
You're not Alicia. Alicia sits back there. She's wearing a flannel shirt, long hair. You're Amshuman, as you are so keen to tell me when I say it wrong.
You know, and humiliation sounds
So it was Anshu.
I did too. And every time I said it wrong, he would make fun of me. Even though,
You asked us to correct you.
I know I did. I'm just giving you a hard time.
And Alicia only had the first letter of the
Hit me.
That's
similar. That's it.
Everybody knows how to do it, but nobody can explain it, which means you don't really know how to do it.
Wait.
When you know how to do something, you can teach someone else to do it. So teach me.
Can you give us a question now?
No.
What?
No. Because if I give you a question, you prove to me that you can multiply those two numbers. You can't prove to me you can multiply every two numbers. Sam, hit me.
Okay, so if you take two decimals,
Okay?
line them up, then you
Oh.
don't have to line up the decimal point, because it doesn't matter in multiplication.
When does it matter?
Oh,
Adding.
And
Excellent.
subtracting
Excellent.
And then, so you're multiplying, so you line them up, and then you just multiply up and down, one, so if you want to write a number, and then you get the answer, and then you put the decimal at the end.
Excellently done.
there's a bit more detail where you put the decimal points.
Good answer. Good answer.
I'm not done yet.
No, I was talking about his answer.
Well, I'm still not done.
But you're not
So if
saying.
there's two decimal places, that means you have to move two places from right to left.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Good. So in this example, my answer has two decimal places. And the only time it matters is in the answer. No, I'm not joking at all. That's absolutely true, Amshrin.
I know, I'm just talking about the question.
How much money did Chiquita lose that day? Joanne. How do you figure it out?
Oh,
By being smart.
What do you do?
Multiply.
3.05 by 50.
Hey, Jeb, this
Do I care about that zero?
no, you don't.
When does that zero come into play?
After you do the equation with just the
At the end, you're just going to add a zero, aren't you?
Zero, then you're gonna move two places.
5, 2, 2,
Okay.
1, 16. Add a zero. How many decimal places?
Two.
2. That's how much she lost.
Oh man. I hate when I lose.
Did I write the answer correctly?
How do you get two?
No, you did not.
Why not?
Because you forgot the dollar sign and the negative.
That's what I'm looking for. I want the negative.
Mic drop.
Where's the mic?
That was a pencil.
Same thing.
Let's not fight.
But
Let's
answers
not
give me
fight.
Bad answers.
Okay, all you do that in your head without it. Well, not in your head. On paper, no calculator. Go. I'm giving you 30 seconds. The next one. The next one, I'm giving you 30 seconds. Go. I haven't started my clock yet because my fingers are slow.
That means we get extra.
You're on 28.
Oh.
I'm going to try and do it in 7 seconds.
Can you tell me
12,
the 7 seconds?
10, 9, 8, 7. Ninety 40.
Hey,
I got it too.
Oh, yeah, we started at 7.
Ooh, the Looney Tunes.
Who knew that?
Who doesn't? Crazy people. It's the Looney Tunes
Same
song.
people who don't like pizza.
You know, I never watched
Uncultured
chocolate when I was
people.
younger. I didn't even know what chocolate was until I was
Nice.
6.
You didn't know what chocolate
Wait.
was until you were 7?
No, maybe 6.
Okay.
Do you
Not
know
even
Dividing. Same rules, yeah?
Yeah. No.
If they're the same, it's positive. If they're different, it's negative. Right?
Yes.
Okay, now. How many rectangles is that?
2, 4, 6, 8.
No, the one I just drew.
One.
One.
Good answer. Good answer.
One.
I'll just stay up counting.
Everybody use that one rectangle you just drew now, as everybody draws it now, to illustrate for me this concept.
This is worse than number 1.
Is it 4 or 7?
Oh, that's easier than number 1.
Illustrate that concept for me. How many people did this? Excellent. Did anybody do this?
No, too lazy.
Did anybody do this?
Big rectangle.
Oh
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna say no.
The Republic of Congo.
It's like a flag.
The point I am trying to make
I didn't know.
is, what did I do to this one rectangle to illustrate this numerical concept?
Show different ways that it can be shown as 1/4.
You put it.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you showed 3 different ways, so
I'm gonna go with
Can
and.
you understand about the 1 square?
No, like oh, the 1 square.
It's division, right?
Yeah.
So what have I technically done here, mathematically speaking? I have done 1 divided by 4, correct?
Yes.
Everybody with me?
Yeah.
All right. Now, I have already told you guys that subtraction doesn't exist because it's math guys' lazy way of doing adding negatives. Okay?
Okay.
That's a hint. Does division exist?
No.
No. It is math guys' lazy way of multiplying fractions. Yes. So here is what I mean. 1 divided by 4 is the same. What is this really? If math guys weren't lazy, how would I really write the number 4? 4 over 1. Right?
Yes.
1 times
So it's really 1 times 1/4. Hit me. Yeah, that's the next thing I was going to say.
Go on.
Good answer. Good answer. All right. So we remember that dividing is multiplying by a reciprocal.
Wait.
Now, highlight that word because I'm going to use it a lot this year because this concept is so important to higher level math. Understanding how to use reciprocals to your benefit. The problem with the way we teach math is we show you it once when you're dividing fractions in Mrs. Bag Crumble's class in grade 5, right? And then you don't see it again until grade 9 in this unit. And then you don't see it again until grade 11. But all the way through there, you're doing math. Your math teacher is using this all the time, but he doesn't show it to you guys. I'm not that math teacher. I'm going to use the crap out of reciprocals. So make sure you understand what they are. Yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent. Amshuman.
I have a question about a topic if we're going to learn
Can it wait for 10 more seconds till we finish these notes?
it. Sure.
Excellent. So, does that negative matter?
Kind of.
No, because the answer is going to be negative. So we don't use it in our computation, do we, Jack? No, that's the point I'm trying to make.
okay.
Does it matter for our computation?
No.
No.
Kind
So
of
3/4.
answer.
Yeah. This is really 3/4 times 8/9.
Oh.
Whoa.
No, because I should go to regular.
And now we're back in business, right?
Yes.
Please notice, you only change the second one, which in math speak is called the divisor, but never mind.
The second one.
Well, I don't want to write a divisor because that's not a word anybody ever uses. Okay? Dividend is the first one.
Yeah, dividend is the first one.
Dividend,
Yeah.
divisor, quotient. Now, there's a multiplier and a multiplicand. Which is the multiplicand?
Well, that can do
3/4 or 8/9?
No, it's 8/9. Because wait, what can you say the thing again?
Which is the multiplier and which is the multiplicand?
Oh, multiplicand is
Multiplier. So the multiplier is 3/4 because
multiplicand.
Excellent! Homework question!
Oh.
No? Homework question, gummy bears on the line.
Oh,
What is the homework?
You weren't paying attention. No chance for gummy bears for you.
I'm gonna come tomorrow in the morning at 7 o'clock and I'm gonna show you.
Then you'll be sitting outside a locked door.
That's all right.
Is there any canceling here?
Yes.
3 and 9 become what?
1 and 3.
1, 3, 8 and 4 become what?
1,
1, 2, and the answer is?
negative.
Good. One person said negative 2/3. They remembered the negative.
Sam, it does not change when you flip. Aha.
Still negative, buddy.
No,
No, it's still negative.
Still negative.
Sam, here's why. Okay? Because this is one of those things where you thought you'd memorized a step. When I reciprocate, the negative disappears. Right? That's what you're thinking. Okay? But here's what I mean. What is 2 divided by 1/2? That is the same as 2 times 2/1, which is 4. You with me? Now, I won't ask you guys to do it because you hate it when I ask you to draw it, but this really means 1, 2 divided into halves, right? Cut that in half, so your answer is 4. You with me? So, if this is a negative 1/2, I still need an answer to be negative, don't I? So this reciprocal has to stay negative. Cool? What are we doing? Are we air 5? Okay. What?
Was it like, there's like this thing where like, if you flip it, where like it changes the side or something?
That's an opposite.
I don't know, there's like this thing.
There is a thing in math where you use the inverse reciprocal, which would be changing the sign and flipping the fraction. We're not needing that right now. Okay? See, that's the danger of learning steps. You can mix them up, right? Because a lot of math looks similar. So you got to be careful. That's why I always like to go out of my way to make sure you guys know why things work, even though Amshaman gets really mad.
Yes.
So what's this really going to be? 2.5 times what?
4/3.
4/3. And I'm forgetting the negative sign because I know the negative is going to be in the answer. What's my canceling? Is there any?
No.
No. 8/15. What's this one going to be? 2/9 times what? 7/4. Any cancelings?
Yes.
Where?
2 and 4.
1, 2. Answer?
7.
Negative 7, 8.
No, it's positive.
Positive. 2 negatives.
Oh, we're on B now.
Way to go.
Okay.
Positive.
Who remembers how to divide decimals?
I do.
Me. No.
Anyone?
You.
No.
If there.
Can anybody do this with proper long division? Can anybody remember how?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
How do you do it? Talk to me.
Negative 5, what? 5 is 0.1.
Do I need the negative?
Don't really need that.
Excellent. 5.1.
Oh, and then the division sign over 3.
Okay, now how do I do it?
3 times 1 is 3.
So 1, 3,
And then
2, 1,
decimal.
7.
Decimal.
Put the decimal. The decimal does line up here, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay? Everybody cool?
Yeah.
All right, now, everybody can do that one, right? What if there's a decimal there?
Oh.
What if it was 0.3
I don't think it's shooting
into 5.1? Leighton.
Oh, you make the 3 a whole number, then you add a 0.
I make the 3 a whole number, and I move the decimal to here. Everyone remembers this? And then it's going to be 17. Everybody cool? All right. Now, there is a way. Remember how I always say before you attempt anything, you should have an idea of where you're going? 5.1 divided by 3. Isn't that close to 6? And isn't 6 divided by 3 2? So shouldn't my answer be somewhere around 2?
Yes.
It is closer to 5, Josiah. I absolutely agree with you, 110%. Except 5 and 3 don't divide nicely in our head. And I'm only looking for a ballpark so I know if my answer is going to be right. 6 and 3 work well, so I can use that as my estimate. I would never write that as the right answer, but I just use it to so I know that I've done it right, if your math teacher ever gets you to do something without a calculator. Cool? Carly?
For the first one, that one.
Yeah?
It's a negative answer.
Yeah, of course it's negative. Yeah. All right, so look at this one. Again, this is all what I was just talking about. This is get the estimate down. 75 divided by 5 is 15, yeah? Right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, now, 7.5 is close to what?
8.
No.
10.
Something that divides with 5. It's close to 10 divided by 5, yeah?
Yeah.
Which is 2. So I know that the answer's got to be 15, but there's got to be a decimal, and it's got to be near 2. So where do I place that decimal? In the middle. Negative 1.5. Picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah, somewhat.
Okay? It's just to help you do the work easier in your head. Because, and I stress this to you guys, you should have noticed in your math education as we've gone along, it starts out really, really simple. Mrs. Bad Crumble in grade 2. I have 3 apples. Leighton has 4 apples. How many apples do we have?
12.
And you're like, 7, Mrs. Bad Crumble. And she's like, oh, good for you, gold star. And then you're like, yeah, boy. But some of your kids in grade 3 never got past 3 plus 4 apples. They didn't recognize that later on they would still need to be able to add to do higher level math. You guys are here because you're aware that math builds on top of math, right?
Yeah.
So, whereas this in grade 6 might have been the last part of the question, in grade 10 or 11, it might be the first of 30 steps. So if you can quickly knock it out of the park and get down to the real new stuff, it will be helpful to you. That's it.
Go on.
And we're done.
Yay.
Yeah.